The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful lady who's from Providence, Rhode Island. She's an author and community activist, and she had a daughter, Essence, that was murdered at the age of 21 around Thanksgiving in a drive-by shooting. She also educates the public on gun violence and gun control. She also hosts Lock Arms for Peace, which is a rally to bring awareness, and sits on numerous boards and received numerous awards for her excellent work. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful Plush Studios somewhere in Providence, Rhode Island, ladies and gentlemen, author and community activist of her new book, She Wasn't the One, Diana Garlington. Diana, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Mike. I truly appreciate it.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too. Upon reading your story, it's just amazing. And you've got a book called She Wasn't the One. You're also an author and community activist. And you also had, you got in the spotlight where your daughter Essence was murdered around 21 in a drive-by shooting Thanksgiving. You go out and educate the public on gun violence and gun control, and you host Lock Arms for Peace, which is a rally to bring awareness, and you sit on numerous boards and receive awards and more. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started.
So, yeah, I would have to say that is the very reason why I did get started. For quite some time, I actually was aware of a lot of violence that was going on in the community, but I kind of brushed it off because I had the feeling that I had a son, but I felt like he was not in the streets. He wasn't the type of child that, that I felt like I had to worry about. I never thought that it would be my daughter who would actually be the one to get killed. So when that happened, I felt like, the sorrow wasn't something that I needed to stay with. I had to, go out and find a way to help others, stay out of this type of violence.
Mm-hmm. And how does this happen, too, where your daughter, Essence, got killed around 21 at drive-by shooting? Maybe you can just give us some of the details and, what happened that day.
Sure. So, as I said, unfortunately, we had a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner the day before with a lot of family members. A couple of family members had actually even traveled from out of state. And the next day, we all decided that we were going to go back to my niece's house who hosted the Thanksgiving dinner. But Essence had called and said she was a little tired and she wanted to hang out with my sister and my niece. So we brushed it off and said, okay, we'll go back and visit her tomorrow. Later that night, I kind of felt kind of weird because she usually calls me all through the night. She was like a mommy's girl, so she kind of stayed in touch with me a lot. And she didn't call. And I kind of felt like I was getting a little tired right around 11:30, so I dozed off. And around 1:45, 1:50 in the morning, I get this really hard knock at the door. I jump up out my sleep and run downstairs. It's my niece saying that we needed to get to our local hospital because Essence was shot in an accident. Upon arrival, I did find out that Essence had already expired. From what I was told, they were traveling down one of our local streets called Broad Street in Providence. She noticed a dark-colored vehicle following them, and she panicked and sped up trying to get away from the vehicle as it drove behind them. They opened fire from the passenger side, and unfortunately only hitting Essence. And like I said, she was pronounced dead when she arrived to the hospital.
I am so sorry about that. And the drive-by shooting, did they find out who is responsible for this?
Well, it right now it's still listed as an unsolved murder. So that was one of the reasons why I also linked up with like a lot of community organizations that deal with gun violence. And actually, September the 25th, we are beginning a campaign called Safer Communities for Justice, and that is to address the amount of unsolved murders that we do have here in Providence, which unfortunately is close to well over 200 unsolved murders.
200? Wow! Is that considered a record for the state of Rhode Island, or is that like a normal amount for the United States, or is that considered a record throughout the U.S.?
Well, I would say as small as we are, it should be a record. I have never heard them, pronounce it as a record. And this is not the state. I also want to point out this is just for one city.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in like I said, it's in the city of Providence. So this is not our entire state that we're looking at that amount of unsolved murders.
Mm-hmm. And also, I was thinking about that drive-by shooting. Is it possible it could have been gang-related, or was it, say, with a drug deal going down, or maybe like an initiation? I was reading this story, and I was thinking about it. It could have been a possibility, or maybe they just hit the wrong target, or was intended for somebody, but got someone else by accident. Those are some of the things that ran through my mind.
Yeah, well, absolutely. We do know that it was meant for her boyfriend, who unfortunately was into a lot of feuding and gang activities. Unfortunately, as I explained in the back of the book, Essence got entangled with this man, and he was an older man, and I feel like she may have been with him during some of those activities and involved with that individual, which, like I said, that night he was supposedly seen doing something that he was not supposed to be doing earlier in the day. And after he picked Essence up, that's when the individuals saw them and ended up opening fire on the vehicle.
Okay. And we're here with the author, community activist, Diana Garlington here on the Mike Wagner Show, and we're talking about the book, She Wasn't One, and maybe just a little more insight and inspiration. What got you writing about the book, She Wasn't the One?
So my biggest inspiration, I really I don't know if I can call it an inspiration, but my biggest reason why I chose to write the book is because I've reached out into my community. I've reached out to the individual that she was murdered behind, and the other individual who was in the vehicle at the time, to give the family justice. I've pleaded with our community for well over 9 years, and I felt like it was time. I felt like people needed to hear the story of Essence. They needed to know who she was. They needed to know who her family was, and who this individual was. Because unbeknown to me, I did find out after that she was also being abused by that individual. So there were so many different variations of what brought me to the point of writing the book. It was just at that time I said, if I could at least reach out and save someone else who may be experiencing this type of abuse, or someone who's with an individual who's into illegal activities, if I could just help someone, that would be my purpose of writing the book.
Mm-hmm. And you're also educate the public on gun violence and gun control, and we'll talk about a number of groups you've been involved with. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with author and community activist Diana Garlington here on the Mike Wagner Show with her book out called She Wasn't the One. And you also go out and educate the public on gun violence and gun control. You also host other groups like Lock Arms for Peace, and you sit on numerous boards, and you also receive awards. And tell us about your venture with Lock Arms for Peace.
So that was another initiative, as I said, was to reach out in the community and try to show our community that we still have peace and love. We do have a large number of violence that actually just took place within the past 24 hours. We had 4 shootings. So those type of situations led us to feel like we needed to do something other than just march and protest. We needed to find a way to unite our community and, show them there's a better way of promoting love and peace. So what we do is once a month, I host an event where we go out. I will start with a prayer. I will speak about what I've been doing in the community in order to combat the violence. Just speak of what type of laws we're trying to provide for our legislators to put, to enact so that we can curb some of the violence. And then we end with prayer by acknowledging so many lives that we've lost to gun violence. And as I said, that's held once a month in person. And when the colder months come, we do it virtually.
I see. Okay, almost sounds like today with Zoom and Skype and everything else. So you guys got a pretty much a head start on that. And you're also on the Moms Demand Action State Survivor Membership, Lead Survivor Fellow, Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence Board Member, One Gun Gone Board Member, and the Rhode Island Juvenile Hearing Board. Maybe you can just tell us that. And if you're sitting on other boards as well, too, you can talk about that and what purpose it serves.
Yes. So the boards that you did mention, especially the Moms Demand Action and the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence and One Gun Gone, we all collaborate together. That is also initiatives and organizations that are, just out here trying to implement laws and make sure that our legislators are aware of what type of, policies that we need to get some of these guns off the streets. We've passed the red flag laws and, different laws, the Protect Families Act. Those are some of the policies that we have put into place. And like I said, the other boards that I sit on are also initiatives that, they support our youth. And we try to just provide avenues to, make better lives for the individuals who are actually going through these type of violent acts, just to try to teach them that there's other ways to, maybe let go of their anger or, just the whole issue of why, a lot of our young individuals are committing some of these crimes in our community.
Mm-hmm. And you say you had passed the red gun law, red flag, or whatever red law it was. You also passed a number. And what are some of the other laws that you had? And after passing these, what's some of the changes that you've seen so far in your area, especially in Providence, like some of the major changes? And what I'm trying to get at is after you pass, it's are you seeing the rates starting to go down, or is it still taking some time?
Well, yeah, as we know, a lot of these, the policies that, are implemented does take time. At some point, we have seen changes, but, recently, for some reason, we have had a high number of violence. And let me excuse myself, I can't say some reason. We had a situation where at first we thought there was only 52 guns that was reported stolen from an individual's home in Providence, but then we found out that it was actually 85.
Wow.
And the individual was actually selling the guns.
Really?
So, yes, sir. So that really, really made a big dent in, a lot of the things that we're fighting for, because, quite naturally, there should be some sort of system where an individual should not be allowed to own that amount of handguns for one person. I really don't understand the purpose of that. And we also have trainings called Be Smart, where we speak to individuals and teach them how to properly store these guns away from kids. And as we know, we're in a pandemic right now, so it's a lot easier for people to get their hands on firearms. We also have a high number of domestic violence due to the pandemic. So all these things compiled into one. And as I said just now, with the release of those guns on the streets, I think it set us back pretty bad right now. So we're just trying to find ways to, get our General Assembly back to work and, back to work on passing some of this legislation for us.
Mm-hmm. And what is the current age right now to own a gun? And does it require a permit, or doesn't require a permit, or does it require training or no training? What is the current law right now in Providence in terms of owning a gun?
So right now it's 21 years of age, and you must have a blue card, where you would go and take a firearms test of 50 questions.
Wow.
And you must have a percentage of 80% to pass the test. Once you pass the test, you get that blue card, and you would have to go to purchase a gun, but there's a 7-day waiting period so that you can pass a state and federal background check.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's no big hassle to actually, getting the gun right now.
Okay. And he also won some awards, too. You also have a memorial. We'll talk more about that. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with author and community activist Diana Garlington. She's got a book called She Wasn't the One here on The Mike Wagner Show. Talk a little bit more about the book, about her daughter Essence being murdered at 21 years old around Thanksgiving in a drive-by shooting. She also educates the public on gun violence and gun control, hosts Locks Arm for Peace and other groups. And he also sits on numerous boards as well, too. And he also won some awards, too, like the Community Impact, Ida B. Wells, NAACP, and quite a few as well, too. You got a memorial going as well. So tell us more about that.
Okay, yeah, so those awards, I'm very excited to have been honored to receive those awards. The Community Impact Award came from the Institute of Nonviolence. I don't know if you were aware, I was also named the Hometown Hero, which was given to me due to the work that I do in the community. So the memorial that you're speaking of is in reference to Essence. So what we do once a year is we have a vigil. We hold this vigil in remembrance of Essence by submitting things that belong to Essence. We have prayer, we have videos, individuals from the community who have lost children also come and join us at this memorial. And we are working now to see if we can implement some sort of bench that would have a plaque in remembrance of Essence placed in the area where she actually lost her life.
Mm-hmm. And that is amazing as well, too. And just a few more things with Diana Garlington, author and community activist. Also, the book, She Was the One, here, The Mike Wagner Show. And what can we expect from you in 2020 and 2021 and beyond?
Well, as I said, I am, I have a passion to try to find a way to change my community and make some sort of impact as far as gun violence. So I've actually been, grooming myself and doing all these different things is because I have a mission and a dream. I would actually like to get into the political realm. I would either like to be a state rep or I would actually like to take it as far as going to Senate. So I'm working very hard, to put that in my mission and make it happen.
Wow, that is amazing. So you're saying you're going to run for the House or Senate in Rhode Island?
That's correct.
Wow, that's amazing. Correct. You know what? If you get to that point, let us know. We can talk more about that, and we'll play it back a little bit and just simply say that make a little push to get in the House and Senate. So I hope it's not too late for you to get in, and I think there's still a little time. If not, I think there's another 4-year window or something like that. So.
Oh yeah. Well, 2022 would be the next run, and that's my plan right now to be there in 2022.
That is great. Okay, and I forgot to ask you, where can we find your book? She Wasn't the One.
So right now, you can go to Amazon.com and just put in She Wasn't the One. I have it on paperback, and I also have it on Kindle.
That is amazing. Once again, author, community activist Diana Garlington here on the Mike Wagner Show. And who do you consider your biggest influence in your career and what you're doing?
Right now, a lot of people may not really understand the significance, but when this first happened, when I first lost my child, I was mentored by someone who was already doing community work for well over 20 years, and his name is Kobe Dennis. So I would have to say right now, he is my inspiration. Politically, I would have to go with Michelle Obama. She is just, one of the most amazing women that I've ever seen to be in office, and even out of office. I would love to image her footsteps.
That is very interesting, and I'd like to see it happen of you. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
So my biggest thing is I have a motto that I try to live by now, and I just want everyone to know that we should understand that envy will kill us and love lifts us. So if we can live more by the significance of loving and reaching out and providing peace in our community, I feel like that will bring back some of our values that we're missing, because I do feel like a lot of people are suffering because there's not enough love. So if we could, just try to build ourselves up to put more love into our lives and spread that, I feel like we'll be a better community for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of communities as well, too, with the gun situation, how can we help?
So my thing is if you could reach out to these local organizations, Moms Demand Action, the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence. Follow my page, Diana Garlington, on Facebook. These organizations are looking for individuals to join us. Please reach out to them and become a part of those networks. They are pivotal to everything that we're fighting for right now when it comes to gun violence. And I promise you, they will actually be those type of organizations you would want to be with if that is your goal, to stop gun violence.
Mm-hmm. And that is very amazing. Once again, author, community activist Diana Garlington here on the Mike Wagner Show with the book She Wasn't the One. A very big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic, Diana. Looking forward to having it again soon. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase your books? And once again, how can people get involved in your groups?
Okay. So once again, you can go to Amazon.com to purchase my book, She Wasn't the One. It is available paperback and Kindle. The way that you can get involved is, as I said earlier, is to please reach out to these local organizations in my community, which is called Moms Demand Action, the Rhode Island Coalition Against Gun Violence, and we also have Keep Forward Movement, which is KFM. Those are all organizations that are working very hard and effortlessly to stop gun violence in our community. And like I said, just continue to work with us and, reach out and do whatever you can to help us curb this violence.
Definitely will. We'll make an effort to do that. Once again, Diana, very big thank you for your time. You've been very fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you have back on 2020 or 2021 and beyond, and all the best to you. Keep us up to date.
Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate you having me on your show, and it was so very nice to meet you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.